Kenya has been known to be an athletics world beater since time immemorial. Mention any middle and long distance world champion, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, well, the North Rift. However, there's a new athletics factory in town. Let me take you on a journey as we find out what makes Coach Bernard Ouma's nest tick. From the times of Kipchoge Keino, Rose Tatamuya, Tegla Lorupe, Paul Tergat, and to the most recent ones, Eliud Kipchoge, Ezekiel Kemboi, Conseslus Kipruto, and Faith Kipyegon, Kenya's world beaters have more or less been known to come from the North Rift. Located a few kilometers outside the capital city, Nairobi, welcome to the Rongai Athletics Club. It is the beginning of yet another tough training regime for the Rongai Athletics Camp. Coach Ouma, holder of a master's degree in sports science from Budapest, Hungary, meticulously arranges his corns on the tartan track, a clearly outlined program of his training schedule as his athletes change into training gear. There's no time to waste as the athletes come down to the track and engage in a few warm-up routines before the rigorous part of the training starts. Just last year, the camp located in Rongai Town, a few kilometers off the capital city Nairobi, produced 3 medallists. 2 at the IAAF World Championships in London and 1 in the World Under-18 Championships in Nairobi. Manangoi led a Cheruiyot to a 1-2 finish at the London World Championships, while his younger brother George breezed to victory in Nairobi in the Youth Championships. Currently, the camp has close to 45 athletes who have been personally trained and picked up by Coach Ouma, most of them from the less fortunate families. But most would ask, why Rongai and not Iten, Kaptagat, Eldoret or Ngong, as most athletes do? The IAAF Level 2 accredited coach, second degree karate black belt holder, and also a holder of a diploma in international coaching, insists that the DNA of his camp and coaching style is discipline.
My training philosophy, we call it the pedagogy of training, is a bit different from others. I'm not saying that, I'm not discredited other people's plan of training. But if you look at Rongai, I do a lot of applied science. That is my background as well, sports science. Rongai is 1725 to 1630 in terms of altitude. This is meters above sea level. You don't need higher than that when you're coaching middle distance. There's what is called hypoxic exposure, and that's the altitude now. I did my research with a number of scientists from Japan, and we settled for Rongai. Secondly, socially it's not crowded. We are quite few, which is good, and concentration goes up very high. It's not congested, and the atmosphere as well is very clean in terms of the air pollution. It's quite clean. So it's an ideal area for me. Other people find other areas to be good for them, but this is working for us, so we find it to be okay. We are one neat, large family coming together, and we share a lot in terms of sports as a social science, how to interact with their families, financial management. So this collectively is from a background of mutual understanding amongst ourselves. Yeah. The bridge between dreams and success is discipline, and the discipline comes in training. If you start getting shortcuts and trying to dope, that's indiscipline, and you're killing your career and you're in a hurry, which can be avoided if the athlete's expectations are managed well. Because athletics is a long-term process. You don't wake up overnight and become a world champion. For example, Elijah Manangoe, we've trained consecutively for 7 years. Very hard training. So there are a number of issues to look into, the chronological age and the biological age. You won't wake up one day and say, oh, after 2 years, I want to be a world champion. No. It has a time, and you cannot do otherwise. It has to be within that time.
Manangoi, perhaps the most iconic figure of the camp, says Coach Ouma has done a tremendous job on them, and for him, the sky is just but the limit. The words are echoed by his younger brother George, who won the gold medal at last year's IAAF World Under-18 Championships in Nairobi.
I came here the year 2010. I joined this group of Banadouma, and I was young actually. I started to say that I was a 400 meters runner that time, just like 3 years, 2010, 2011, 2012, and also 2013. So I graduated to 1500 2014 actually, when we are going to Commonwealth Games. So I think my journey went well, success, well organized under Banadouma. He was a very good coach indeed right now, and also he's a good guy actually, because he's there also for me in training, part of training, outside my family. So generally, he's a good friend of mine, like my brother also. So, and my journey was like that, and I'm continuing doing marvelous,
When I came to the club, in fact, I got much tactics, especially for the 1500 meters race. I trained with the champions, the likes of Timothy and my brother Elijah. So I gained the tactics from them, and I was encouraged by the rest of the athletes, because when they were encouraging me, so it was not that hard.
For Coach Ouma, discipline and togetherness have been the key for the club's success, and he remains confident that in the next few years, the camp will produce more world beaters. Timothy Olobolu, reporting for Capital Sports.